episode 9. That is 9 weeks in a row of me getting on here doing a podcast. And I promise, I know this is supposed to be a 2-man podcast, and it will be. And when my co-host Scotty is ready, he is going to be back. He has had surgery, and I mean, it has been down. The man cannot move his fingers. Don't know what happened. All I know is the doctor told him that he had the biggest or largest, I'm not sure, biggest, largest ligaments that he had ever seen. He's a big man, though. He is a big man. But when Scotty gets going, he's going to be back, and it's going to be me and him. God knows I need a co-host. I need somebody to vibe off of. You know what I mean? I need somebody to vibe off of. It gets hard to do this by yourself, and you can't have a guest every week. You just can't do it. You can try, but you just can't. It just ain't going to work out. But you know what? The Whitetail Waypoint, it ain't going nowhere. I'm going to be here every week. Every week, I'm going to have you a show on here. It's late right now. It is late, but we're going to get it done. We're going to get it done, and we're going to make it to the top. Because like I've been telling y'all before, we coming out the mud. All right, and we almost out. I'm finally getting to where I can focus on trying to put a show together instead of focusing on like how to make the show, how to get it uploaded. That was a struggle for a long time. That was a struggle. But I think I'm getting it now. I'm going to go over a couple things tonight. This is going to be, we're going to talk a little bit of hunting, and we'll talk about a little bit of future. So I got a list here. I've got a list. I wrote this stuff down. I got getting no feedback in my headphones. I don't know. Maybe I got that up too loud. I don't know. All right. So I got a list. What I want to go over today. Facebook. I don't know what's going on with that. We got a page. We got the Whitetail Waypoint podcast Facebook page. Every week, multiple times a week, my page gets pulled and says that it's not being recommended anymore. Why? Because the next day, or maybe sometimes it's 2 days. Sometimes it's 2 days. It says it's being recommended again. Now, I've been reading on Facebook a little bit. I think this is happening to a lot of outdoor Facebook pages. Now, if you're listening or, if you see this or whatever, let me know, because I don't know if it's just me or if I am doing something wrong. I don't know, but all I do is share stuff about deer hunting. I ain't doing nothing bad on there. Ain't nothing happening. But they can't recommend my page. But it's like it's kicking like something. Is it AI? Is it AI doing it? Because it's like it's tripping something. And then it shows, oh, okay, hey, this is breaking the rules. But then it's like, oh no, it really wasn't. It was like a technical glitch. You're being requested again. But then it's like it rolls around again and it triggers it again. I mean, literally 2-3 times a week. That's all my notifications are is, hey, you are not being recommended. You're not being recommended to the public. We're not going to share your page. We ain't recommending your page to nobody. And I'm like, all right. The first couple times I was like, what the? But then I realized, it's like 2 days after that, they're recommending it again. There's nothing happening. But I don't know why. So if anybody has an answer for that, I'd like to know why. So maybe I could stop having to deal with that. It's kind of frustrating. I mean, it's not doing anything, but maybe I could get recommended to some more people. Maybe get some more people in the community. Who knows? But I don't know nothing about it. And I ain't even going to get in on the email kick that we've been dealing with. That was God almighty, that's still a mess, I believe. That is still a mess. I'm just not a big tech person. I'm doing a podcast. Yes, I understand that, but I am not a big tech person. I don't understand a lot of it. Or Scotty, like I said, y'all ain't seen him on here in a while, but the man's been doing stuff for me, behind the scenes, but we ain't having a lot of luck. But we will make it through. We gonna make it through. They ain't gonna get us down. They ain't gonna get us down. We here to stay, baby. We here to stay. All right. So that was my first thing. If anybody's got anything, that's just really just a call for help. If anybody know anything about Facebook and why they stop recommending pages and why they start recommending pages again, hey, just say something. Put my mind at ease. Well, we got that. All right, so the next thing, let's talk a little bit of hunting. This is something that I seen something on YouTube, and it's something that I deal with a lot, and especially as somebody like that films their hunt, or that films their hunts, and I deal with this in my head a lot. It's like, let's say I get on a good buck, and I've been after him for a week, maybe 2 weeks, maybe it goes into that third week, man. And you know what it's like when you start getting into that second, third week. You start getting tired, you start getting lazy. You start getting lazy, and you start thinking about, I don't want to carry this in today. I don't want to carry that in today. Because honestly, you don't think that it's going to be worth it. But the day that you don't do this or you don't do that, the day you don't do those small things that you always do or that you really need to do, that is kind of an inconvenience, is the day that you wish that you would have did it. And it always happens that way. And y'all know what I'm talking about. But what I'm getting at with this, let's just say, I mean, this really goes both ways, public land and private land. I think people be a little bit more free about it on public because, you're not really, it's not your spot. It's not, you don't really care that much about blowing a good buck out of there. But, well, so like I said, at least like you've been 2-3 weeks in on this deer and whatever, and you're tired. Like, I'm not going to carry my sticks and my platform in today. I'm not going to carry my climbing stand in today. I'm going to hunt on the ground. But the thing is, I feel like several times this year, I feel like I was there in my mind. I was there. But then I go into but I need to get this shot on film. I want to film it this way. I want to get it from my tree stand. It's going to be filmed better. I don't have a good tripod to hunt from the ground. And I'm not hunting. I'm not doing what I need to do to kill that deer, what the whole purpose is. I'm trying to do other things to get it, and it's really probably keeping me from killing the deer. I'm just wondering, is that something that a lot of people are dealing with that do film their own hunts? It's like, you think you probably could just go sit on the ground, make a little blind right there, right at that pinch point. You could probably kill this deer that afternoon, but it's not the shot that you want for your camera. It's not going to look cool for YouTube. I feel like people know what I'm talking about. I know I had that opportunity a couple times this year, and it really frustrated me. And then you end up getting up there and you forgot this or you forgot that, and so now you're up in the tree, and you're still not doing the thing that you wanted to do, or you wasted a bunch of the other time, or kicked out your good plan because you forgot it. You forgot something. I do that all the time. Or you get up there and you drop it. Now it's on the ground. Now you don't feel like climbing back down. Start over again. I'm telling you, people, if you have ever filmed your own hunts, especially bow hunting, and you have been successful at it and you are consistent at it, it is work. It is work. Man, it's work. And if you don't love it, like, it can get, it'd probably make you hate it. I could definitely see it making people hate it. I have to take a break. I have to take a break from it. At like some point during the season, I take 2 or 3 days because I just bow hunt. But at some point during the season, I take 2 or 3 days. I pick up that rifle and I go find the biggest open place that I am allowed to hunt, and I will have some fun. I'm going to lay some lead. That's right, baby. That's right. You got to take a break in the middle of it, because if not, it could force you, to start hating it. It shouldn't feel like work. It should not. This is what you're doing to enjoy. But like I said, filming and putting yourself in positions. How do I want to say this? Putting yourself in a position of lower odds. Yeah, that's it. Because I hunt the odds. So by trying to get, you're automatically doing that anyways, filming your hunts, bow hunting especially. You're giving yourself lower odds because of all the stuff that you have to do to do it right, and to do it to where it's worth watching and for everybody to enjoy it. So you've already given yourself lower odds, and if you're not being successful at it, and you keep giving yourself these low odds and you're not being successful, and it's just a repeating endless game of what seems like failure, you could become to hate it. So if you are doing this, if you are filming your hunts, just remember to take a break. Remember to take a break. Remember that it's supposed to be fun. You don't have to don't take the camera. Don't pack it up that day. Don't even pull it out. Just go out there and be there. Just be you. Be there. And keep that day or those 2 days or those 3 days for you. Keep them for you, not for anybody else. Get back to it, okay? Get back to it. Trust me, I'm telling you, I understand. But the whole point of it is when you go back to your goals here, because y'all know I talk a lot about goals, realistic expectations, blah, blah, blah. Oh, excuse me. I feel like I need to burp, but it's like in my chest. All right, I got it. All right. So the whole point of what I've been rambling on it. The whole point of it is, at what point do you say, I'll just get what I can on camera, whatever. This is what I need to do to kill this deer. It doesn't really matter if it's the perfect shot or whatever. Or I guess what I'm really wanting to know is, where are you at on it? Do you give in to it? Do you give in to the, I'm just going to set up and make the shot on the deer because I know I can do it from the ground. It doesn't matter what the camera angle's like or blah, blah, blah. Or do you always make yourself go up in the tree and do this and do that to try to get the right shot, the right camera angle, or whatever? That I guess that's really what I'm trying to ask, and I guess also, is it worth it? What's the goal? And I guess that's what it comes down to, is what your actual goal is to actually just kill the deer, or is it to actually have, good footage? I know mine, I really think this year, a lot of mine, I think I set out to really get good footage. Really. I think that was where I was at mentally this year and goal wise. Yeah, I had a couple deer that I wanted, I had targeted, but I think this year I really set out to try to get more into the filming aspect of it, to get better at that. So by saying that, like I just previously went through, I worked my butt off, There was a lot of days it was like I could do this and I think I could kill him, but that's not going to work for the YouTube channel that I'm trying to get going. It's not going to be a good shot. It's not going to be good to play back for everybody. It's not going to be a good video. Could have probably killed the deer, from the ground at like 15 yards, but I couldn't have got it on video. So I think I gave in to a lot of that this year, and there was a lot of frustration. So going into this year, I need to figure out a better way to kind of merge those conflicting ideals. But But that's hard. It's really hard to do. I know it sounds easier saying it, but it's really hard. It's really hard to do. Do you think hunting on the ground in public land is more effective, or do you think hanging and hunting every time is more effective? What is your list? What is your checklist to go through to figure out which one is more effective? So mine, if I'm going to AEDC, this place is flat. There are no terrain features whatsoever. The only terrain features that are there are edges, tree lines going in, like power lines, stuff like that. That's really the only features that there are. Everything else, it's just flat. I mean, there's no rhyme or reason to where these deer move, why they move that way. It's just whichever edge they decide to follow. And, you know, I consider myself a terrain hunter. Like, I'm way more comfortable in hill country hunting. Like I went to Oklahoma, I found some terrain like creek bottoms and stuff, and yes, I was in. Once I got that, I struggled the first 2 days on flat land, just trying to figure out where to get them. You know, I found that creek bottom, got in there 2 days, boom, I was good. So, but anyways, like AEDC here in Tennessee, it's just flat. Pine trees, power lines, it's really flat. So on that, I really want to get in the tree, I feel like. And I've been torn on it in a couple of different spots out there. But with it being as flat as it is like that, I just want to get elevated because I feel like there's more room. I feel like they can see me from way further away, and I'm going to get busted. And I just feel like I don't have any cover when it's flat like that. But also, so I can get up and I can see further on the flat land. I hate it. I hate hunting the flat land. I hate hunting out there. I hate it. I feel like I said, my odds are very low because they're just going to run those edges, and I don't know which edge they're going to take. And there's nothing to force them down a certain one. You know, it's just whichever one they choose, and you got to hope that you choose it. I like terrain features that force animals this way, that way. I mean, who wouldn't? I mean, it increases your odds. You know, I don't like hoping. I hate that. I hate hoping. That's one reason why I started bow hunting. It's, you know, I used to have a 12-foot, you know, one-man ladder stand on the edge of that cornfield, and I'd sit there in it, and I would hope. Oh, man, I hope something comes out today. I hope something comes out. Really hope something comes out. I hope there's a big one here. I wonder what's over there. Wonder what's over here. You know, so I stopped. I grabbed my bow, and I just started going. I go after them. I know what's in there. I'm going to the X. You know what I mean? I want to pick him off when he gets out of his bed on the way to his bathroom to brush his teeth. That's how close I want. I want to be in his house. And that's just what I like to try to do. You know, I fail so much, but it's fun. It's really fun to me. And I've learned the past 3 years, I have learned so much about whitetail deer, how they move, you know, how they live in general. And it's made me a better hunter. And, I've really enjoyed it, and I just want to keep getting better. That's why I'm called, you know, you look at the name, the amateur saddle hunter. I could, you know, one day maybe be listed as one of the best hunters there is. It doesn't matter, but I will always be an amateur. I'm a student. I want to learn every day. If there's a day that comes and you don't feel like you're learning about something, you're failing yourself. You need to be learning every day. You need to be a student of life. A student of life. Oh my God, that sounds like some Butch Jones crap. Butch Jones, Tennessee's old coach, brick by brick, with all his sayings that he used to say. I'm turning into that guy. Give me a microphone, and here I go. Student of life. Well, but it's true, though. You need to be trying to learn something every day. And, if you're not, truly, you're failing yourself. What do you mean? You think you know everything. And then nobody likes anybody that knows everything. Golly. But I don't. I tell my wife I know everything. I tell Major that I know everything. But they're the main ones that know that I don't know everything. I don't think Major thinks that I know anything. He sure as hell thinks that I don't know anything about fishing. If any of y'all have listened to any of these episodes, he thinks that I just don't. If it comes to fishing, I don't even know what a lake is. I don't even know where fish live. It kills me. No respect these days. But anyway, sorry. Started rambling again, but flat land, I hate it. Now, I go to public land and like Bear Hollow up in the mountain. Yeah. I could definitely hunt on the ground there. I've got rocks. I've got whole knolls, hills, logging roads that drop off. There's so many different ways and elevation changes. With terrain, you can hunt on the ground. It's way easier. You've got cover. You can use, when it comes to thermals, even on the ground in hill country like that, you can find ways to, use the thermals to your advantage. It's like I was talking to Ben Rising. He commented on one of my posts the other day, and I asked him, hey, give me an example of how to find an edge that a buck would use, that a mature buck would use, and to hunt it effectively with the buck still thinking that he has the thermal advantage. And, we went back and forth on that right there for a minute. And, well, not really. He commented on it. I commented back. I'm waiting on him to comment back again. But the example he gave me was exactly the way that my previous hunt set up and actually the way it rolled out, so that was good. The way our minds lined up, our idea, they lined up pretty much exactly the same. And, that was a successful hunt. That was a successful hunt. It was the, you can go back, you can watch that on my channel. It was the last hunt that I posted on the last day of the season, that the 8-pointer I shot that was in slow motion. The deer almost ducked my arrow and about shot him in the face. It's that hunt. But the way that was set up is there was a thermal hub, and I was about 30, 40 yards south of it. I had, days before that, was a northwest wind, and then it had switched, and it was coming out of the south. And I was, like I said, I was south of that thermal hub about 35, 40 yards. Had the southwest wind coming, so it was coming from my right. Yeah. So if I was standing in my stand, I wasn't standing in it. I had one stick on this tree. It was a white oak, and then there was a magnolia tree that was about 8 inches around that was right next to it, about double my body width that was right next to it. It was still green. I had one climbing stick. I put that climbing stick on that tree, and I climbed up. My feet were about 5 foot off the ground. And I cut out a little shooting lane in that magnolia tree. And that was it. So I was right there. I was down in the draw. Thermal hub behind me, about 35, 40 yards. And this creek bed really just goes. Just goes all the way out to the lake. And they'll follow that little shelf up on the right and the left, but they don't ever use that left side. They always, when they're coming this way, they always use the right side. They drop off that dip and then creek crossing about 10 yards right there from that magnolia tree, boom, and they come up on this side. They follow on out, go up to Pinch Point, cross over, go over to my other spot. But I was in that, I was tucked up in that magnolia tree, 35, 40 yards south of the thermal hub. Southwest wind coming, southwest wind coming to my face, south to north. The deer was walking with the wind. I've killed 2 in that spot. Last year, I killed a 13-pointer, and then I killed that 8 in this spot. In this same spot, the deer were walking with the wind. He cuts down across, and then he comes straight back up. Now, this is about 130, 150 yard stretch, and it's just a straight draw, just V down, creek bottom going out. It opens up into big open timber out on that side. And then this way, it's narrow. It's only about 45 yards from hillside, top of hillside on this side, top of hillside on this side. And then it V's down, creek bottom. Oh, yep, there we go. And like I said, it's about 130, 140, 150 yards long till it opens up big timber. And it comes to this pinch point right here, and they cross that creek. He was coming with the wind. He crosses that, comes up on this side, and I was in that magnolia tree, so it was about 100. I'm shooting directly behind me, so 180 degrees if I'm facing the tree. There, through the hole I cut in that magnolia. This time he was kind of uphill because he had crossed over and was going back up and was coming this way. My cam on my bow hit my camera arm. It tinked. He started looking. This deer was alert. I have a 27-inch draw length. Okay, so my bow is slow. So now I had him at 8, but I wasn't sure if I wanted to shoot that deer. Wasn't sure if I wanted to shoot him there. Then I made my mind up when he got out at 32 and he was alert. So I had to make it, hard, because it had been way too easy to shoot this deer at 10 yards when he was not alert. But anyways, he gets up across. He's alert now. He's looking at me. He stomps. I draw back while he's looking at me and everything. But he couldn't see me because at that point my thermals had probably just started to rise, but they were just pulling straight. Really, in my imagination, the way it looked is they were pulling away from him and then up the hillside behind me, going away. He couldn't see me. He could not smell me. That's 100% for sure. He knew something was in that tree, and he was looking. I drew back while he was looking at me, and he still was looking. You can see in that video, he stomps one last time, and I just let her fly. And he ducked and tail whipped around and everything, and about shot him in the face. But I guess the whole point of this is I was technically on the ground in this situation. So that's really thinking out of the box there. I had 4 climbing sticks there. This was not a pre-hung set. I went into this spot. I had to, I needed to make a move. It was the last day of the season. But hunting on the ground was the most effective way. I could have, if I didn't have that climbing stick, I could have sat on the ground against that tree and still had the same shot. Possibly. But either way, that was the hard shot. I could have had if I knew 100% for sure that I wanted to shoot that deer, I could have killed him easily from the ground at 10 yards. But even with the indecisiveness, I still was able to get that shot from the ground because it was a plan. Just went back to the basics. I had cover. I played the wind. Everything, it just played right. If I would have been, I feel like if I had been up in a tree, like up in it on that one with my camera arm and everything, I honestly don't know if I would have got a shot at that deer. I feel like he would had, I don't know. It just was not, first of all, there was no cover up there. It was just the tip of that magnolia tree. It was up there, and it got really thin up there with just a couple big leaves. But I guess what I'm just trying to say is hunting on the ground is definitely still effective. 100% still effective if you have woodsmanship skills. And that is a thing that everybody needs to be working on if you want to be a good and successful whitetail hunter. Woodsmanship skills. Get out there and just walk. Just look and walk. Find the difference between varmint trails and deer trails. You know, an easy way to do that is, you know, I'll sit here and say this, but to help, you know, find the easy way to find the difference in that is follow the trail. You're like, man, this trail is run down. This thing is beat down. Follow the trail out. When something comes across it, if there's a limb that comes across that and it's low enough for you to step over, a deer is going to step over that, right? So if the trail keeps going underneath that limb and it's still beat down underneath that limb, that's not a deer trail. Those are raccoons and possums, you know, because they're going under the log. Obviously, you want to look and see how long that limb has been down. You know, if it just fell today, it could possibly still be a deer trail. Also, look for tracks in the trails. You know, I know this sounds like common sense, but you'd be surprised what people don't know. But I guess after all of that rambling, and yes, I know it was rambling. I'm sorry. I want to say the right thing when I'm trying to describe what I've got going on in my head, and that's hard for me sometimes. It is hard for me sometimes. But after all of that, let's try to bring that in. I think what I was trying to say is, if you're filming your deer hunts next year, or turkey hunts, if you're filming hunts, try to give in to making the successful hunt or the successful shot on film. Determine which one is your goal. Determine if getting the good shot is more important to you or if harvesting the animal is more important to you. And then go with that. But whichever one it is, make sure at some point you take a break from it. Okay? Make sure you take a break. Don't keep doing it where you become miserable with it. Take a break, gather yourself, and then get back after it. Don't be a all right? So make sure you get that. So make sure that's clear. Make sure that is clear for you. All right. Now, again, don't be scared to hunt on the ground. Don't be scared to put one stick on the tree. Like on that hunt right there I was telling you about, really the only reason I put that stick on the tree is because I didn't want to sit on the ground. It was more comfortable for me just to stand on that one stick. So don't be afraid to hunt on the ground with a bow. Just make sure you got good cover and make sure, you know, your wind and thermals will be right. And you don't have to understand thermals completely. Just, hey, when it starts warming up and you see the sun hitting, all right, hey, just think those thermals are probably starting to rise right there. Just because it turns daylight doesn't mean the thermals are starting to rise with the temperature, okay? So, especially bow hunting, when you have to get when you need to get close to that X right there, you know, hey, pay attention to the thermals, your wind, have good cover. Don't be afraid to hunt on the ground. You can be very successful with that, all right? It doesn't have to be what you've got in your head or what everybody thinks that you got to be in this tree stand and set up and doing all that. It doesn't have to work that way. Think outside the box. Thinking outside the box is going to get you more mature deer than sticking to, I guess, if you want to call it the standard or what everybody thinks is the standard. Think outside the box. Hunt on the ground. Put one stick on the tree. Hunt low. I promise. That's 2 years in a row that I have shot deer under 10 yards that I was almost eye level with. And you want to talk about a rush. It's addicting. Try it. Don't be scared. So, yeah, that's the end of that rambling session. I hope maybe y'all were following what I was trying to say there. If you wasn't, oh well. I just don't want you to be miserable. I want you to be miserable. I don't want you to be miserable. I want you to have fun. All right. And stop second guessing yourself. Just make sure you make it clear to yourself what your goal is and stick with it. And then whichever one it is, take a break. So you don't get just flabbergasted, miserable, and everything else during the season. Mean to your wife and kick your dog and all that. Can't have that. All right. Can't have that. All right. Now, talking about the future. That's what I was. This is the last thing. This is going to kind of be a short one tonight. I don't think I'm going to be able to do it for turkey season this year. I'm still in the U.S. Army Reserves, at least till December, and I think I will be gone most of the month of April. So I don't think we're going to be able to do it for turkey season this year, but going into deer season again, I'm going to start up what's going to be called the check-in station. That's right. We're going to take it back to the old school. Because I'm an old fool who's so cool. If you want to get right, let me show you the way. Whoop, there it is. Let me hear you say, check-in station. We go into the check-in station. That's where y'all going to go. Because there is going to be a juvenile big buck contest, and it will be a live show on that Saturday morning. What we're going to do is going to be pretty much just going to be a big tailgate party. So, the first juvenile hunt of the year, we will have a pretty much like a big tailgate party that Saturday morning. I'll set this stuff up. We'll get it live. We'll get it going probably about 10 o'clock. I want everybody to go hunting. Take your boys, take your little girls, take everybody hunting. There will be a big buck contest, okay? And I will put, I'll send it out before time and everything, but it will be a $25 entry fee, okay? $25 entry fee. And I guess we'll probably do, I haven't decided if I'm going to do like a first, second, and third, or if I'm just going to do first place. I don't know. But either way, all the money's just going to go to a pot. The biggest buck takes the pot. You'll also get a hat. You'll see Amateur Saddle Hunter. And I'll have more options too of hats. It's an Amateur Saddle Hunter hat. I'll have Whitetail Waypoint hats, hoodies, and t-shirts. So you'll win the pot, get you your I'll probably just do a t-shirt, cash, and hat will probably be the prize. This is one of the hoodies. This is the green one with the this is the Amateur Saddle Hunter podcast hoodie. Let me hold it right here. I don't know if you've seen that. Oh, I'm telling y'all, this is small back here in this corner, and that's why I struggle to get around. But anyways, so like I said, $25 entry fee, and I'll probably put that out a couple weeks before the hunt. The winner, I'm going to decide if we're going to do first, second, and third. It'll probably depend on how many entries we have, but you'll win the pot, hat, t-shirt, or hoodie, probably whichever one you want. Okay, that will open up the season. So like I said, we'll get that going on that Saturday morning. Or it could just be, I'm still in the middle of figuring out all the little details. I don't know if I want to do it on Saturday or Sunday, because obviously you have to get through the weekend. You know, you have to make it till dark on Sunday before you can call the winner. But, or we might just do it as a Saturday morning thing. I don't know. But as of right now, I just want to let everybody know that there is going to be a big buck contest on that first juvenile. And you can win some money, t-shirt and a hat. It's going to be pretty cool. But the biggest part about it is after y'all hunt and everything, everybody has a place to come, show off your deer, hang out, tell the stories. You know, if you got a good one, we'll have a podcast going live. Get on here, tell the story. It's going to be cool. That's the whole point of it. I want to see the community. All right. I want everybody to be a part of it. And it's going to take it back to, like, you know how it was when we were kids. You get to pull up at the gas station. You always stop out, and, you know, there'd be people out there that you knew, and you stand there and tell the story, lie, you know, all that. That's what we're going to try to bring back, because these kids ain't getting it nowadays. You know, they kill their deer, check it in on the cell phone right there, and then that's it. So that's going to start the season off right there. And like I said, this is going to be called the check-in station. That's just going to be like a segment of the show, kind of. And it'll probably be called the check-in station big buck contest, juvenile big buck contest. But I don't know. Like I said, we're getting all the details together, but this is for sure going to be happening. I just want you to be prepared and know what's coming up. So, big buck bow. So the way I'm thinking about doing this, and hey, I want everybody, hey, give me your opinions, give me your, you know, comment, whatever. I'm open to everything. I'm doing this for us, y'all. Okay. This is not for me. This is for the community. So let me hear what you got to say. Let me hear, you know, your opinions on this. So we'll start off with the juvenile big buck contest. We'll do a $25 entry fee. Winner wins a pot, hat, t-shirts. And then when bow season opens, which probably that will be before. Yeah. Well, bow season. Yeah. So the bow will actually come first. So we'll do a big buck for bow. We will do a rifle big buck, and then we'll do an overall big buck. That'll be the, you know, throughout the whole season. So it'll be $25 entry fee for, if you want to get in the bow category, $25 entry fee for the rifle, or you can do both. And I probably make that, because the overall big buck, the way I've got that set up, or wrote down here, because I've just got a jumbled page of notes. It's not like I've got this organized or anything yet. I have to do this in my free time, you know, because it's not like I don't have a million things going on in this world every day. I love it. I love it. I love it. But the way I'm going to set up the overall big buck, I think that's going to be $40 entry fee. That way the pot's a little bit bigger, okay? That's the only reason I want it. I think that it should be a little bit more to get the pot a little bit bigger. Overall will be bow, rifle, muzzleloader, whatever, and that'll be announced at the end of the season. And then, like I said, for the bow and the rifle, big buck, 25 and 25 each. So that'll give you that subcategory that you could win big buck in. And then the overall big buck, you know, you could win that too. And that keeps the pots separate. That's really the only way I can think about doing it right now is, you know, keep each one separate. So you would just enter for each one individually. That way each pot is separate. Yeah. But for God's sakes, like I said, if y'all have any ideas on how to do this better, I am all ears. I just want it to be fun and enjoyable for everybody. And, you know, kind of hopefully help somebody set some goals to try to win something this year. But like I said, I've just got this jotted down and trying to get this idea put together. But I do know that it is going to be called the check-in station. I do know that. That's one thing that I've got. And I've got it wrote down here. We got, as prizes, you know, we've got t-shirts, hoodies, hats, cash, and probably a trophy or a plaque that'll probably say big buck winner. I think that's what mine says that I've got. I don't have winner. I think I got second place to Jimmy Doney, the W&W Big Buck contest back in the day. Jimmy Doney. shout out, Jimmy. I still like to, if you still got that open spot on that hunting club, I'm still interested in it. So if you hear this, hit me up. But yeah, that's really all I've got. That's really all I've got for this one, man. I wanted to go over that. I wanted to see where people were at, like that also film if they get torn like I do on whether to do what I need to do to kill the deer, or, no, I'm not going to do it because I need to do it this way to get the better shot and stuff. So I wanted to see where people's heads are at with that. Oh yeah. And please don't forget, if you know what's happening with the Facebook recommendation, comment, let me know about that. And then I wanted to let you know about what I had in mind, what's coming up for the future with the check-in station. Because I think that's going to be fun. I think that's going to be something that everybody can enjoy. And I know I'll enjoy it. I'm looking forward to it. I really, really hope that I can get it, if I'll have the time and I won't be gone, to get it up and going for turkey season next month. So if I can, I will. If I can't, I can't. I can only do so much. I'm only one person. I know. So that is that's all I've got tonight. So don't forget to don't be scared to hunt on the ground. Make your goals clear. Follow them, achieve them. Take a break. Take a break when you need to. And comment and let me know. Help me out with this. Let's get the check-in station up and going. And have a good time, man. Let's just be part of something. I'm looking forward to it. That's episode 9. And I'll see you next Wednesday for episode 10. And I will be here. I can promise you that. I'll see y'all later.